Deep in the rainforests of Borneo, a war is happening. Silent, brutal, to the death. A tiny ant faces an enemy, but it doesn't fight. It doesn't run. It detonates itself, exploding like a biological grenade, sacrificing everything to save the colony. This is Colobopsis explodens, not a warrior, not a kamikaze, a living weapon designed by evolution. Worker ants, barely 5 millimeters long, less than a quarter inch, armed with poison glands that cover their entire body. When threatened, they contract their muscles violently. Their abdomen ruptures. Yellow, toxic goo sprays everywhere. The ant dies instantly, but the enemy is paralyzed, glued in place, repelled. The colony survives. To understand this sacrifice, we need to go back 140 million years, when ants first evolved from wasp ancestors. Early ants developed chemical weapons, formic acid, alkaloids, venoms powerful enough to kill prey 10 times their size. But Colobopsis explodens took this further. They turned their own bodies into bombs. These ants live in the canopy, 100 feet up, over 30 meters high, in hollow branches and tree cavities. The rainforest canopy is a battlefield. Hundreds of ant species competing for the same territory, same food sources. Rival colonies send raiding parties. Invasions happen daily. The goal? Steal larvae, kill workers, claim the nest. Colobopsis colonies are small, a few hundred workers, against armies of thousands from aggressive species. They can't win by numbers, so evolution gave them something else. A deterrent so extreme, it changes the rules. Inside each worker ant, 2 massive glands run the length of the body. Mandibular glands, hypertrophied to enormous size. These glands produce a sticky yellow secretion, a cocktail of volatile compounds and adhesive proteins. The chemical mix is toxic, paralyzing, and incredibly sticky, like industrial glue mixed with pepper spray. Most ants have these glands. They use them to mark trails, communicate, produce small amounts of venom. But in Colobopsis explodens, the glands are grotesquely enlarged, taking up 40% of total body volume. Imagine carrying 2 backpacks filled with explosives strapped to your chest and abdomen. That's what these ants live with. The gland walls are thin, fragile, designed to rupture easily under internal pressure. Surrounding the glands, a mesh of powerful muscles. When contracted, they squeeze the glands like hydraulic presses. The trigger mechanism is behavioral, not chemical, not automatic. It requires a conscious decision. An ant doesn't explode by accident. It chooses to. In response to specific threats perceived as colony-level danger, this behavior is called autothysis, suicidal altruism, adaptive self-destruction for the greater good of the group. It's rare in nature, found in only a handful of species, termite soldiers, some aphids, a few bee species. But nowhere is it as visually dramatic, as chemically sophisticated as in Colobopsis explodens. The name itself tells the story. Explodens. The ant that explodes. Scientists discovered them in Brunei in 1916, but the explosion behavior wasn't documented until the 1970s. When researchers finally witnessed it, they couldn't believe what they saw. Ants intentionally rupturing themselves. Early theories suggested it was a stress response, a malfunction, something broken in their biology. But field observations proved otherwise. This was strategy. Refined by millions of years of selection, colonies with exploding workers survived invasions. Colonies without them were wiped out. The gene for self-destruction became dominant because it worked. Here's where it gets truly strange. Not every ant in the colony can explode, only a specific caste. The colony has 3 types: the queen, reproductive workers, and minor workers. Minor workers are the bombers. Minor workers are smaller, their glands proportionally larger, their cuticle thinner, easier to rupture. They develop this suicide capability gradually. Young ants can't explode. Their glands aren't fully developed yet. Around day 20 of adult life, the glands reach critical mass. The ant becomes weaponized. From this point on, it patrols the nest perimeter, guarding entry points, scanning for threats. The detection system is chemical. Ants recognize nestmates by cuticular hydrocarbons, unique colony scent signatures. When an intruder approaches, the guard ant doesn't smell the right signature. Alarm pheromones are released. If the threat is minor, guards use mandibles, biting and dragging intruders away from the nest. But if the invader is large, aggressive, or numerous, the response escalates immediately. The guard ant locks its mandibles onto the enemy, holding it in place. This is critical. Then it begins contracting its abdominal muscles, rhythmically, building pressure inside the glands. The pressure increases exponentially. The gland walls stretch. The ant's exoskeleton begins to deform. At the moment of rupture, the cuticle splits along the dorsal surface. Between the third and fourth abdominal segments, the yellow secretion explodes outward, not in all directions, but directionally, toward the threat. The chemical spray covers the enemy in seconds, sticky, toxic, immobilizing. The adhesive properties are remarkable, stronger than most commercial glues. The enemy is cemented in place. Simultaneously, the volatile compounds begin working. Neurotoxic alkaloids disrupt nerve signaling. The invader's muscles seize. Its breathing slows. If it's an ant, its antennae stop moving. Death doesn't always occur, but paralysis does. The threat is neutralized for hours, sometimes permanently. Meanwhile, the exploded ant is dead, its internal organs exposed, body split open. Mission complete. But here's the paradox. How does natural selection favor a behavior that kills the individual before it reproduces? The answer lies in kin selection theory. These ants are sisters. They share 75% of their DNA. By sacrificing itself, one worker saves dozens of sisters. Genetically, this makes sense. The shared genes survive. It's not about the individual. It's about the colony as a superorganism. The hive mind prioritizes collective survival. Scientists tested this in controlled experiments, placing intruders near nest entrances at different distances. Close threats triggered explosions immediately. Distant threats were monitored but didn't trigger autothysis. The ants calculate risk. They don't waste themselves on minor problems, only existential colony-level threats. Researchers also discovered something unexpected. The chemical composition varies between individuals. Some ants produce more adhesive compounds. Others produce higher concentrations of toxins. It's a division of labor, even in death. Specialized bombers for different types of enemies. Against large predators, sticky ants deploy. Against rival ant colonies, toxic ants are preferred. The colony somehow coordinates this. Chemical signals, tactile cues, behavioral programming we don't fully understand. Another bizarre detail. Exploded ants are never eaten by nestmates. Their bodies are carried outside and discarded. Most ant species recycle dead workers. Protein is valuable. But not these corpses. They're contaminated. The yellow secretion remains toxic even after death. Touching an exploded worker can paralyze other ants. So the colony treats them as biohazards, removed immediately, avoided completely. This creates a defensive perimeter around the nest. A zone littered with toxic corpses and paralyzed enemies. No predator wants to cross that barrier. The cost is too high. The colony becomes effectively untouchable. Field studies tracked invasion attempts over 6 months. Colonies with active bombers were attacked 60% less often. Word spreads in the insect world, not through communication, but through evolutionary learning. Predators that avoid exploding ant nests survive and reproduce. Those that don't die or fail. Over generations, entire predator populations learn to recognize Colobopsis colonies and steer clear. But the arms race doesn't stop. Some species evolved counter-strategies, faster attacks, hit-and-run raids. Certain wasp species strike before guards can respond, paralyzing workers before they explode. Parasitic flies inject eggs into workers, controlling behavior, preventing self-destruction until larvae hatch. Evolution never rests. Every adaptation spawns a counter-adaptation. The war continues. Researchers studying Colobopsis discovered multiple species within the group. At least 15 distinct exploding ant species. Each has slightly different chemistry, different explosion intensity, different habitat preferences. Some explode more violently. Others produce stickier goo. Some have faster trigger responses. It's adaptive radiation. Natural selection fine-tuning the suicide strategy for different environments. But the most extreme example was found in 2018 in the highlands of Borneo. Colobopsis explodens, the original, scientists placed a rival colony near their nest, documented what happened next with high-speed cameras. Within seconds, minor workers rushed to the breach. No hesitation, no retreat, just immediate deployment. The first ant locked onto an invader, contracted, exploded. Yellow spray coated 3 enemies instantly. Before the first ant's body hit the ground, a second detonated, then a third, a chain reaction of sacrifices. In 90 seconds, 12 ants exploded. The invasion was repelled, the nest entrance sealed with toxic glue. The footage is staggering. Ants consciously choosing death, queuing up to sacrifice themselves. There's no fear, no escape attempts, just programming. Biological certainty. This is what I was made for. The chemical analysis revealed something shocking. The yellow secretion contains compounds never seen before in nature. Novel alkaloids, proteins with adhesive properties stronger than barnacle cement, volatile terpenoids inducing instant paralysis. One compound they named explodenol, unique to this species, a molecular signature of weaponized evolution. When synthesized in the lab, explodenol paralyzed insects at concentrations of parts per billion. It's one of the most potent natural insecticides ever discovered, and these ants produce it in milliliter quantities. The implications are staggering. This isn't just defense, it's chemical warfare perfected over millions of years. Researchers attempted to harvest the secretion for analysis. It degrades within minutes outside the ant's body. The compounds are unstable, reactive, designed to work once, then break down. No persistence, no contamination. Nature engineered a biodegradable weapon, lethal on contact, harmless within hours, perfect efficiency. But perhaps most disturbing, the ants show no signs of distress before explosion, no pain response. Their nervous system may be wired to suppress pain signals during autothysis. Or perhaps they simply don't feel it. We don't know, and we may never know, what it's like to be an ant programmed to die. What we do know, this strategy works. Colobopsis explodens thrives across Southeast Asia, in rainforests where competition is brutal, where every inch of territory is fought over. They survive, not through size, not through numbers, through sacrifice. Through individuals willing to become weapons. So what does this tell us about life, about evolution, about the nature of altruism? It tells us that selflessness can be selfish, sacrifice can be strategy, death can be adaptive. The individual means nothing, the gene pool means everything, and genes don't care about consciousness. Colobopsis explodens challenges our understanding of behavior, of decision-making, of what it means to act for others. Is it noble? Is it tragic? Or is it simply biology executing its program without emotion or meaning? Scientists still debate this, whether these ants choose in any meaningful sense, or whether choice is an illusion. What's certain, this behavior evolved because it increased colony survival. The math is brutal but clear. Ongoing research focuses on the genetics. Which genes trigger autothysis? Can they be isolated, manipulated? Some scientists propose bioengineering applications, biodegradable pesticides based on explodenol, adhesives inspired by the secretion. Others study the behavioral triggers, understanding how ants assess threat levels, how they coordinate suicide attacks. The broader question, how common is this? Are there other species, undiscovered, with similar strategies? Every year, new species are found in rainforests, many with bizarre, extreme adaptations we can barely comprehend. Colobopsis explodens may be remarkable, but it's probably not alone. Nature is stranger than we imagine, and stranger than we can imagine. These ants remind us, life finds ways, often brutal, always effective. In the end, survival isn't about individuals. It's about information, genes, strategies that work across time. Evolution doesn't care about heroes, it only cares about results. And sometimes the result is an ant that explodes. Life isn't fair. It isn't kind. It just is. And in that brutal simplicity, there's a terrible beauty. The rainforest continues, the colony survives, and somewhere, right now, another ant is choosing to detonate.